Say it again, the man said, calm, controlled, worse than shouting. Say whose name is on the house. Dylan let out a short laugh. Too fast, too practiced. Mine, he said. Why wouldn't it be? The man didn't move, because that's not what the paperwork says. Something shifted, not loud, just enough. Glasses still touched somewhere behind me. A chair scraped. Someone kept talking like nothing had changed. But at our table, the air tightened. Dylan's hand went to his cufflinks, turning them, adjusting. Then again, he only does that when he's lying. The smell of champagne hung in the air, sharp and slightly sour. It made my chest feel off. My name is Vanessa Cross, 28 years old. I was standing a few steps away, holding a drink I hadn't taken a sip from, watching my brother smile like he could talk his way out of anything. Look, Dylan said, I don't know what you think you saw, but everything's handled. He said it like it was a solution. The man didn't argue. Handled by who? Dylan hesitated. Just a second. My advisor. It's structured. Handled. Clean. Words that sound solid until you ask what they mean. I had heard them before. A few months ago, a letter came to me by mistake. Pre-approval. Loan amount close to $500,000. My name on it. I told myself it was nothing. Then another notice. Then a call I didn't return. Because if it wasn't a mistake, then it was something else. Everything's clean, Dylan said again, louder now. I looked at him properly this time, at the smile that didn't reach his eyes, at how he kept glancing toward the exits like he was already planning where to go next. Then I looked back at the man, and I understood. This wasn't confusion. This was something that had already started breaking long before anyone in that room noticed. Dylan recovered fast. That's his thing. Man, you're overthinking it, he said, smiling like nothing had happened. It's just how it's structured. The man didn't move. Structured how Dylan shrugged. Through my advisor. He handles all that. Handles. There it was again. My mom stepped in before it could go further. He's done very well for himself, she said, a little too bright. We're very proud. She didn't look at the man. She looked at the room, like she was reminding everyone what they were supposed to believe. My dad added, calm and flat. Everything is in order. That tone, final. Shut it down. I'd heard it my whole life. Dylan grinned, leaning back like he'd won something. See, it's not complicated, except it was. It always was. This is how it worked in our family. Dylan moved forward. Nobody asked how. I stayed out of the way. Nobody asked why. Easy system. Until it wasn't. A woman beside me, Chloe, his fiancée, shifted closer to him. Wait, she said quietly. What does that mean? Structured. Dylan didn't answer right away. My mom cut in again. It means everything is taken care of. Chloe looked between them, then at me. Just for a second, like she was trying to figure out who was telling the truth. I didn't say anything. I never did. But I could feel it now, clearer than before. Whatever Dylan had built, it wasn't his. Chloe tried to steady it. Marcus. Right, she said. You work with my dad. The man gave a small nod. I review filings for the firm, he said. Risk. Compliance? Not vague, not friendly, just clear enough. Dylan laughed. Like that closed it. See, he's one of those detail guys. Marcus didn't smile. Details tell you where things don't line up. My dad stepped in, voice low. This isn't the place. Marcus glanced at him. I didn't choose the timing. That landed. Dylan's fingers went back to his cufflinks. Twist. Adjust. Again. Look, I already said it. It's handled. Marcus held his gaze. Handled by who, my advisor? What firm? Dylan paused. Too long. You wouldn't know them. Marcus nodded once, like he'd expected that. Maybe. Chloe shifted closer. Dylan, she said, quieter now. Who actually set this up? Someone I trust. Not an answer. Marcus didn't push further. He didn't need to. I've seen this structure before, he said. Usually it looks fine until you trace the names. The word names sat there. I felt something tighten in my chest. Not panic. Recognition. Marcus wasn't guessing. He had already followed the line and knew exactly where it ended. Marcus didn't raise his voice. The Plano property, he said. Primary residence or investment. Dylan blinked. Primary, he answered, too fast. Marcus tilted his head. You filed it as primary. Dylan laughed again. Same thin sound. Yeah. That's what I said. Marcus nodded slowly. Then you live there full time. Not a question. Dylan's smile slipped. I mean, most of the time. It's flexible. Flexible. My mom stepped in, sharper now. It's his home. That's all that matters. Marcus didn't look at her. That's not how it works. My dad moved closer. We're not getting into technicalities here. Marcus finally met his eyes. It's not technical. That landed heavy. Chloe turned to Dylan. You said it was straightforward. Dylan's jaw tightened. It is. Marcus spoke again, calm as before. Then the down payment. $117,000. Where did that come from? Silence. Real silence this time. Dylan's fingers stilled for once. Savings, he said. Marcus didn't react. From which account? Dylan looked at my dad. Just for a second. That was enough. My chest tightened. I knew that look. I'd seen it before. Different room. Different conversation. Same pause. Same answer that wasn't really an answer. Chloe's voice dropped. Dylan. He didn't look at her. I told you. It's handled. Handled. Again. I swear. That word started to sound like something breaking. Marcus took a breath. Not rushed. Not dramatic. Then you won't mind if it's reviewed. That was it. No accusation. No scene. Just a line placed exactly where it needed to be. And suddenly, everything that had been floating around the edges, it felt like it was closing in. I didn't move. Didn't say anything. But I knew. This wasn't staying between us anymore. Dylan pushed back from the table like he needed space. Okay. This is getting weird, he said. Louder now. It's a house. People buy houses. Nobody answered. He kept going anyway. $612,000. Good area. Solid investment. That's it. That wasn't it. Marcus didn't move. Investment properties aren't filed as primary residences? Dylan snapped back. It's not an investment. Then you live there. I said it's flexible. That word again. I could feel people around us shifting, chairs scraping lightly, conversations dropping off mid-sentence. The room wasn't loud anymore. It was listening. Chloe stepped closer to him. Dylan, just explain it. I am explaining it. No, you're not. That hit harder than anything Marcus said. My mom's voice cut in, tight. We are not doing this here. My dad followed, controlled. This conversation ends now. Marcus didn't argue. He just said, it doesn't end here. Simple. Final. Dylan laughed again, but there was nothing behind it. You're acting like this is some kind of fraud. Marcus didn't blink. I didn't say that. He didn't have to. I swear. You could feel it then. Not just tension. Something heavier. Like the room had already decided who was right. Dylan looked around, like he was trying to find someone still on his side. Nobody stepped in. Not even me, because by that point, I wasn't standing on the outside anymore. I was already part of whatever this was turning into. I didn't plan to say anything. I just stopped pretending I hadn't seen it. 6 months ago, a letter showed up with my name on it. Pre-approval. Loan amount close to $500,000. My credit profile attached. I called Dylan that night. Did you use my name for something? He didn't pause. No. Why would I do that? I wanted to believe him. So I did. 2 weeks later, another notice. Property tax estimate. Same address. Plano. I checked my credit report the next morning. There it was. An open mortgage inquiry. My information. Verified income I never submitted. I didn't go to the police. I didn't confront anyone again. I called a lawyer instead. Quiet. Off the record. What am I looking at? I asked him. He read through everything, took his time. You're tied to this, he said. At least on paper. If this closes under your name, you carry the liability. Liability. I sat there holding the phone, staring at nothing. So what do? You document everything, he said. And you decide when you want to step in. When. Not if. I started saving copies, letters, notices, call logs, dates, names, amounts. I didn't tell my family. Not because I trusted them, because I didn't. Back in the ballroom, Dylan was still talking. Everything's been verified, he said. There's nothing to look at. I almost laughed, because I had looked, carefully, quietly, and standing there, watching him repeat the same words like they could hold everything together. I understood something clearly for the first time. This wasn't confusion. It was a choice they made, assuming I wouldn't make one of my own. The music didn't stop. Same song, same rhythm, glasses still in people's hands like nothing had shifted. Then the doors opened. 2 men stepped in. Dark suits. No rush, no noise. They spoke briefly to a staff member near the entrance, showed something ID paperwork, then moved with purpose, not scanning the room, heading somewhere specific, toward us. My dad stepped forward before they reached the table. This isn't appropriate, he said, low and firm. You need to leave. The taller one met his eyes. We're here regarding a formal matter tied to ongoing reviews of property filings. Not loud, not dramatic. Official. Dylan let out a short laugh. You've got the wrong event, he said. This is a wedding. The second man spoke this time. We're aware. We won't take long. My mom moved closer, voice tight. There's been a mistake. Everything is in order. The taller man didn't react to that. We've been attempting contact for several weeks regarding filings connected to a property in Plano and related transactions. Several weeks. That detail settled into the space between us. Dylan's smile thinned. I don't know what you think this is, but you've got the wrong person. We're speaking with everyone listed or referenced, the man said. Everyone. I stayed where I was. Didn't move. The air felt thinner, like the room had lost something it couldn't get back. Chloe's voice came from beside Dylan, quieter now. Dylan, what are they talking about? He didn't answer, didn't even look at her. He looked at my dad, and my dad looked past him. That was it. No denial, no correction. Just silence in the place where an answer should have been. And in that moment, everything I'd been holding in place finally settled into something clear. This hadn't started tonight. This was just the first time it couldn't be kept contained anymore. The taller agent stepped closer, opening his folder just enough to check a page. We're reviewing filings tied to this name, he said. Vanessa Cross. My name. Dylan shook his head immediately. That's not right. She's not involved. Not involved. The second agent spoke, measured. A mortgage application for approximately $495,000. Primary residence declaration. Supporting income documentation submitted under her information. He didn't rush it. Didn't dramatize it. Just facts. Chloe turned to me, confused. Vanessa, what is he talking about? I didn't answer her. I was still looking at Dylan. Tell them, he said. Sharper now. Tell them you don't know anything about this. There it was. Not concern, not confusion, just pressure. Marcus stepped back half a step, giving space but not leaving. The agent continued. This review is not limited to a single filing. There are related transactions connected through overlapping information. My dad spoke. Controlled. We'll address this through counsel. This is already under review. The agent replied. We're notifying all listed and associated parties. Dylan's voice slipped. I didn't do anything illegal. The agent held his gaze. We're not making that determination here. That silence after felt heavier than anything said. Dylan looked at my parents. You told me it was fine, he said. You said everything checked out. My mom said nothing. My dad didn't respond. That told me more than words could. I felt it settle into place. Not one mistake, not one moment. A pattern, built carefully, quietly, using whatever name worked, using mine. Dylan looked back at me. You knew something was off, he said. Why didn't you say anything? I met his eyes. You didn't ask. He didn't answer. For the first time, he didn't have one. Everyone was looking at me now. Not Dylan. Not my parents. Me. Like I was the missing piece that could fix it. Dylan stepped closer. Just tell them, he said. Say you didn't approve any of this. That it's a mistake. A mistake. I shook my head. It's not a mistake. That stopped him. My mom moved fast. Vanessa, she said, low and urgent. Don't do this here. There it was again. Control the room. Control the story. My dad added, sharper now. We'll resolve this. Quietly. Quietly. I let that sit for a second. Then I reached into my bag. My hands didn't shake. I noticed that. I pulled out a folder. Thin. Simple. I handed it to the agent. You don't have this yet. I said. He took it. Opened it. Affidavit. Timeline. Copies. Everything I didn't say out loud before. Dylan stared at me. What is that proof? I said. My mom's voice broke a little. Why would you do this? I looked at her. Really looked this time. I didn't. I said. You did. Silence again. Different this time. Not confusion. Consequences. And for the first time all night, I wasn't standing on the outside of it. Chloe stepped back from Dylan. Not sudden. Just enough to change everything. Is any of this real? She asked. Dylan reached for her. It's not what it looks like. She pulled her hand away. Then tell me what it is. He didn't. My dad spoke, voice steady but thinner now. We can fix this. My mom nodded. We just need time. Chloe looked at them, then at Dylan. You needed honesty, she said. She slipped the ring off and set it on the table. No speech, no tears, just a decision. Dylan stared at it, then at me. You could have stopped this. I met his eyes. You could have told the truth. That was the end of it. I walked past them, past the music that hadn't stopped, past people pretending not to watch. My phone buzzed before I reached the door. My mom. We need you. I looked at the message for a moment, then typed back. You needed me before. I put the phone away and kept walking. There are moments when you realize your silence was the only thing holding everything together, and once you stop carrying it, things fall where they were always going to fall. I didn't fix anything that night. I just stopped being part of it.